Hi, welcome here in Salzburg in Austria at the Geopathic Academy. This is where we train doctors, therapists, builders, architects and anybody else interested in how to measure for, assess and consult on radiation exposure in the home and how to properly address that. Now, one of the things we teach people is excesses of natural radiation, which is referred to as geopathic stress. We've got a couple of video images made on our training site in the terrain behind me that kind of show you how those dynamics work. So that might be good to have a look at. To explain them a little bit, a fault line is where there's when you drive along and you see a carved out road or the edge of a mountain cliff or something, and you see all those horizontal lines in the soil. Sometimes you see those on an angle. Well, when these pressures come together, sometimes a crack appears, and those layers that you would have seen, those layers would then shift. Now, as you have different metals and minerals in those layers of the ground, you then, when that shift occurs, have a different metal opposite of another, and then often you've got groundwater in the middle. Now, that dynamic creates an energy. Very similar actually to if you've got amalgam fillings and you put a piece of aluminium in your mouth by accident, as soon as that touches you get a similar scenario. You get electricity being generated in your mouth. Similar feeling to putting a 9-volt battery on your tongue to see if it still has a little bit of juice. So that dynamic is basically what happens with the fault line. So we've got these different layers of metals and minerals. Because of pressure, a shift occurs, and now you get different metals and minerals opposite of one another. So let's have a look at this example. Okay, we are here near the training site of Geopathic in Austria. In this mountainous terrain, these cliffs of the mountains give us a bit of a unique opportunity to see what goes on underground. When we talk about things like fault lines and such. Now, as you can see, there's different layers in the ground, see? Now, there's different metals and minerals in layers of the ground. So, for example, here you see these dark patches. That's different metals and minerals coming out with water and tarnishing that surface area. Now, if I look over here, it's very interesting. Here we've got the the darkish brownish patch coming down. Now on the right there, in the middle of the shot, we've got a section of almost horizontal layers, a little bit diagonal, and that used to be a lot higher. It used to be equal to the other right edge there. So at some point in our history that has disconnected, it has slitten down, and now you've got basically a crack there. Can you see it? That little black diagonal line going down? Well, there at that point you've got different metals and minerals opposite of one another. Now with groundwater or moisture in the middle, you get an energy and electricity is being generated. Yeah, now here this is the fault line that we use for training. Very famous actually. For decades people have been coming here to train these skills. So we've got a similar crack coming down here, having the different metals and minerals opposite of one another, and that results in that energy being created. And just here we've just marked it with a little stone, so people can see where it is and they can use that in their training, and then after a little while they can do it with their eyes closed.
The next fault line we have is here. You see that we have there. Yes, yeah, and then you see a line going down. Yeah. So the radiation there is such high that all the plants, wie sagt man da? Da wächst nichts.
Can't grow.
Can't grow, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no river or something like this. fault line, fault line, fault line, fault line, fault line, fault line, fault line. And that's it. Fault line, fault line, fault line. And then I can also make the Drehpeilung. Right.
Okay, well that was it for the video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe it's given you a little bit more of an insight into this issue of geopathic stress. It all sounds a little bit airy-fairy, and I was certainly certainly in that field when I first started. Being a pilot myself, I'm a little bit of a logical thinker, but it's really not that not that difficult to understand. You just need somebody to explain a concept to you. So anyway, if you were interested in learning more, we are always looking to expand our network. We're running English courses here in Salzburg now. We're running English courses, of course, in other countries as well. So please register your interest, give us a call, and we'd be delighted to see you. And perhaps you could join us in helping people. That would be great. Thanks.